You have just literally taken the words out of my mouth, because for 5 years after I left, I couldn't stand it. I didn't even want to think about it. I had a horror. I mean, my mum would tell you, although she's been gone a few years now, but she used to say, all you say, David, is you hate going there. You don't want to be there, but you've got to. Sorry. And 5 years after that, I came one day and I was like, that was the best experience of my life. That made me stronger. It gave me so much ability, so many skills to talk to anybody, and confidence.
It really did. And I remember when I arrived, I was not very confident young man. I had a stammer, quite a bad stammer, which still shows up occasionally. But basically, I got there and I really was a bit of a weed, really. And it took me a while, but after about a year, or actually probably about 6 months, I met a group of friends, and you kind of bond, and you kind of, and you kind of grow, and that was good. That was really good,
No, I think that says it all, and for me that's a very similar experience, because I was a day pupil in quite a tricky year group of people. It were quite tough people to be around, and it was the making of me, really. And I think Allhallows, I saw Peter Larkman only recently, and I thanked him for all the years.
Wow.
Yeah,
I remember him.
Yeah, it's Derek Blumen's birthday at 90th.
Derek Blumen's still around.
I know.
Incredible.
He's still around, still going, still
Incredible.
writing letters and all sorts, which is wonderful to see, and all those things. And what I love as well is you've mixed in obviously some of your crime writing too into this. You've got obviously you've got Jack the Ripper in there, which is fascinating and interesting. The links and things, but also something that really interested me: the Red Baron.
Yeah.
Because the Red Baron comes in. Now, I didn't know if you knew this, and you may well do, but Ron Algie would have been there at your time, and
I've heard the name. Yeah, I've heard the name. Yeah,
So Mr. Algie was there.
Yeah.
He was a Latin teacher, Greek teacher in our time. I think he goes back to like 79. I think he started there, somewhere around there. No longer with us today, but his wife was Helga, and Helga's grandfather was the Red Baron.
You're joking. I had no idea. What a strange connection.
There's another link there.
Coincidental.
So there you go.
Because I chose the Red Baron because I imagined he'd be like a hero, for a young boy at that time,
Yeah. So I love that connection to it, and the island, of course, which now is interestingly I went back to Rooston a couple of years ago, and they've done a lot more with it now. It's a lot more landscaped, and the water's back in, and the island is a proper island now, rather than just sort of.
It was just like a mound at the time, when it was just there.
Yeah,
wasn't it?
It was.
You wondered what it was
that's
for.
right. That's it. Exactly. It was an amazing place, and I think that all of the things you describe in Shadowside, again, I'm going to say OHs, you've got to check this out, because the feelings you get, you'll be back at school. You really will do. I just think, from the Gables, I love the idea of the medium and all of that, and the spiritualist side of things. And I mean, it's in areas it's quite tragic, but in others it's very uplifting and sort of reaffirming of the place itself.
Thank you. I always think you've got to have light with the dark. Because I am naturally drawn towards the dark and, sort of mystery. But I think you can't really have proper darkness without some light, because life's not like that, is it? Life changes quickly. And so I wanted to leave in it a little bit. And I must say my time there, had many humorous times. I mean, there were many pranks and jokes and many things that still bring a smile to my face. So that kind of setting's ready made for that kind of thing, because it's such an enclosed kind of community. People, like you say, they find ways, to amuse themselves and to survive. So it's kind of
they do.
still there.
They do.